You're not building your confidence. You're building your mind. You're building your business, or because it's not always a business that you're building in the 3D concrete world. You're building your own business in your head, whether it be you just doing a blog or whatever you're doing. You're building your own business. So let me put that here. So I put getting 1, 2 together, building myself is what the creation is what up the creation, getting confidence in the one field. My own interpretation. Meaning like I still have to go through life being myself. When I go into a situation, I still have to be me and build my own rapport for myself of what it means to go through situations, what it means, and how I choose to deal with people in those situations. If I'm not true to myself when I go through said situations with people and things like that, in trying to produce or create something for myself, which of course inevitably that's what I'm doing anything for, I would assume. So getting outside of the fact that I'm doing something for me and not for someone else is a big talking point, because they're saying that in order for you to go through life and feel fulfilled, it's on your own accord. So when you make things, you do things, it's because you want to do them for you. You know that you have your mind set for the things that make you feel the best, that put you. But when you build confidence, it's not saying, hey, I'm confident. Look at me get on here and do this thing with all of this confidence. All I have to do is fake the funk. And then one day I'll feel confident. I'll be confident because all I had to do was continue to make it seem as if I was confident, that no matter what I did, no matter what circumstance I was in, I was able to feel, or at least attempt to feel, as confident as I possibly could within those moments. Now, I'm not saying that spark couldn't help you in certain scenarios, but is it long lasting? It's a spark. Is it long lasting, continuing yourself? No, it only goes right there, and you have to try to, like, every single day flick that fucking bit, you know what I'm saying? Every day you gotta, but you can't keep the speaking of, you know what I mean? You can't, you just fucking flicking away, dude. You ain't catching one of these, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm seeing it, because people will say, and you wonder what they mean. It's like, because it's not a real fake it till you make it. You're not supposed to run through life with a false confidence in the things you do. Like, at some point, of course, imposter syndrome will creep in, but because I see that. But as I go and do the circles, right, and I go around enough fields of events and do enough things, then I get a full spectrum, boom, and then I can go to the next one and do the same thing, right? So that plays out as like, well, I used to go to this job. I figured out all the stuff at that job. Now moving on to this field of work, or now I choose to do something totally different, or now I see that I'm no longer in this field of work. I have a new mentality to have. I'm no longer the old person I used to be. Even though I'm unchangeable, I'm not able to really be changed, because like they say, shout out to Dolo, if I cut off my arm, it's, I'm still me if I lose certain parts of myself. But I know that I'm able to mold, and that's where molding and sculpting comes into play. People think you always have to change. Yeah, but you're not completely changing out. Change, you can carve up a couple things here and there, still be you, but still have that mentality that, okay, right? I can't continue to be this way. What is it going to do for me? I'm in a new field. I'm in a new thing. I'm doing this now. I don't wear that. I don't be that now. But what I'm saying is, also what I could say is, even if you choose to go around and do other things, that gives you the confidence now to go do that thing that you might have, oh, I don't know about this. Or like I would say, like you can do one sport or one thing or whatever thing, but if you go learn, you could have just a job. But if you go learn everything outside of that job, just like you can even say like with like confirmation bias, if you learn everything outside of that bias, now you can go look at your own that confirmation, your own bias again, and see if it's even true to you. Most people just stick with, yeah, I mean, I've agreed before, so I'm going to continue to agree with whatever was said before. It makes sense. I remember it. It was fact then. It must be fact now. So this is okay. This, you know. But adding your own interpretation is really important when you move through life, because it's this whole fake it till you make it. And like I said, you faking the funk with your confidence and things like that. And when you finally get to the place where you actually have to show up for things and you're unable to do so, right? But like I said, most likely the reasons why, like I'm saying, when I got into doing this, I only really had the confidence because I was doing other stuff before this, before me putting myself on here onto YouTube. And I didn't even have the confidence then to get on YouTube before I got on YouTube. So that's my deal, and I'm still saying that I don't know how much of confidence is like I'm confident. It's you know, let me prove to you with my chest full, which not saying you're not supposed to do. You know, but it's just like confidence. What is that? It just seems like showing up. Confidence seems like being there, seems like being present and aware and able to do whatever you need to do. The job, be coherent. That's what confidence means. It means you're there and you're willing and you're able and you do the job the way it's supposed to be done. Whether you need to put flair, whether you need to put more, you know, pizzazz, you know, whatever thing you need to shake up or break up to make it happen. That's your job. That's the confidence within that. You know, I think people are looking for the showman parts more so to prove that they are confident within something than just being confident. You know, somebody that doesn't have to show out, or they just show up. You know what I'm saying? And then show out. You know what I'm saying? But they, you know what I'm saying? They're not, you know, doing the most is what I mean too. It's like, so you kind of, you know what I'm trying to say? Because it's like, people saying it, but if I wouldn't have been able to do all kinds of other little things to make this thing possible, then look on here and do little things on here and get more confident on here, then to be able to move on to something else, then build the said confidence, which is, I'm saying, is not confidence. It's, I've messed up and I've had to take accountability for, I said the wrong things, or things could have been said a little differently, or I could have went this way or that way, and me taking accountability of said things, looking at it for what it is, and then moving on, still having the delusions if necessary, still not just, I'm not breaking down myself necessarily to build myself up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to lose parts unless it's something to not put energy and attention into. I'm not trying to think that, oh, because this is gone or, you know, because I'm no longer there that I'm going to lose this. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can always go back to things too. Well, or, you know, resume things where you left them, if you will. But having your own interpretation is more important, I think, than trying to fake it till you make it. You're going to have to fake it in a way, but it's only because you know, you have to kind of see what life is. You're not always going to be straight up all the time, and that's okay. You know, because I have to say, well, what if I don't want to give this energy or this thing right now for these people at this moment. That's okay. That you don't. I mean, nothing's really okay, but you know, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, I guess. like thinking, like the morality thing, we're thinking that if I choose to withhold things or do things, that I'm not a good person because I'm not giving my whole life sentence, you know what I'm saying, like whole everything away, like sentence story. But yeah, so you know, I said, leave your creations. They are no longer your snapshots of videos and videos like of videos or art you create, like things like that, like being stuck within those things, getting you caught up because it's like, oh, was this good, or was that, or this, that, and the third. No longer matters. It's out here now. You're done. You're done. You did it. It's over with. Move on. You need to go back up in here and try to figure out what's next for what's next. You know what I'm saying? What's on the other side? You know. And I put, your reality is not tangible. It's not, like, reality is not tangible, and so you have more to play with when you're building your reality. You have a lot more of a realm to look into when you're building your reality. Because people think, like I've said before, grass is grass. You know? And it's like, yes, but what? There's more than grass is grass. You know what I mean? What about, how does it correlate to you? What does it mean? What do trees mean? You know what I'm saying? Is it just a tree? When you read in certain books, certain Bibles and things, is it just a tree? I think it's funny because I never really thought it was like something to really look into. Like I said, this is funny, the fight for this whole thing, because it's like I didn't realize that I was so into doing this stuff when I was a kid, but I was doing it. But I didn't realize that I was like doing what I was doing. But I was always advocating for God, and I just didn't really realize it. You know, I would watch certain videos being like, well, what about you go to heaven and, you know, you ain't worrying about everybody else and stuff like that, and you're only worried about, like, and you know, and those are the small things, because even those people didn't know what they're talking about. But me getting on that whole, well, what about heaven and hell and people, and going there and not worrying about the people on earth and things like that, you know, whatever the case. You're only up in your mind and not here in the earth realm. But now, before I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm checking it, it's like, oh, in my head, what is heaven? Okay. And out here, the body hell, all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, all you talk about the demi. You know, I'm learning, because I wasn't into it. I was like, well, that's dumb. Switch. Now I'm like, am I a Bible thumper? But in like my mind, because that's where more of what it was, you know. And so like I say, is like building your reality is realizing that it's all up in here and it's not out here. That you have a lot more to play with. When it comes to your imagination and building skills, not confidence. When it comes to building certain things that will ultimately have you confident. It won't be, ooh, I have to be, you know, because it's way on a less percentage scale for me, I'll say. You know, coming on and saying anything and wondering if it, you know, what does it even mean? And does it make sense, and do people care about it? You know what I'm saying? But realizing, oh, okay, well, let me go look up some more videos. Let me go read up on some more stuff. Let me go, you know, go have some more conversations. And then when I do all of that stuff and I make my little circle, boom, you know, little flower or whatever thing, and then I boom, 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 right? Then I go, oh, boom. Even if I'm wrong, even if I don't know what I'm saying, the confidence is now knowing this world is fucked. As simple as that. And I have no choice, because I always have a choice, but my choice is that I'm choosing that I have no other choice but to come on here and say something about it. And so knowing that seems to give me the confidence or the skill, the know-how, the wherewithal, whatever you want to call it, to give the illusion of confidence. And I'm saying that for a lot of people. Oh my God, I don't get desire. I don't get how they. Who said that they felt good about it? Who said that they were cool with doing it? Who said that they were like? Who said? Who said? Who said? I just want to know who said it. You hop on the internet or you hop on something. You get on a stage. You do something. And I wish I could just be as calm and cool and collected as them. They're so smooth. Oh my God, how do they do it? It's almost like they don't even have to try. They must feel great. They must feel confident. They must feel all the good stuff. Trust me, I've heard it. They've got to feel good. They so smooth. Oh man, they look so confident up there. They look like nothing's wrong. Like they're not even feeling the pressure ain't there. And it's like, nah, it never really, but that's the whole thing. But if you don't feel the pressure, how do you fucking move on? How do you know? So for a person that may not do certain things, it may not experience certain things, and really put themselves out there like that, and go, no, those people feel it, and that's kind of the point. But that's their pressure to feel. That's why they can take it. It may not be as bad for them. But to say it's not there, it's surely there. But it's just something to be able to take, I guess. Or not even I guess. I know that it's just okay. Yeah. And that's kind of where it leads. You know what I'm saying? Okay, because when you're in it, it's literally like the eye of the storm. For everybody else on the outside, the shit looks chaotic and crazy. Not to say it ain't, because it's quite destructive. But once you make it in it, and you're in it, and you really like I said with the confirmation bias, but once you're in the other realms, and you actually see other people's opinions, and you look around after a while, because you gotta get, when you're in it, you gotta go through the band, but once you go in it, and you look around, and you feel, it's actually not that bad in here. It's not as serious as it seemed on the outside. So now and so when it's all said and done, because it seems like even when you step out, it's chaotic. So it's like, oh my God, and all the stuff, and then because let's say you want to move on to something else, is what I'm saying, a whole new field, and now you got to step out of that, and you got to feel all the pressures of, now you don't do that no more. Now it's all, when you all the stuff. And then now you got to go to the other thing, and then, and it's boom. It's like that. But to, you know what I'm saying, to stop that process, because it's like, no, you got to, and then step out and go, oh. I mean, yeah. And you can tell somebody, yeah. But, and then I learned, and then it wasn't as bad. And so now when I walk through that band, it just kind of seems like, okay, but I know I got to get to this, I got to get to the eye of this thing. And so that thought or feeling or whatever you want to call it, that intuition, idea, vision, is what kind of propels you into the storm and into the center where you see, it's a lot, but I made it in, and now but I made it out. While others just see the destruction or the I'll say that because kind of like what life is, the chaos and the aftermath, and they go, oh my God, I could never experience something like that until you have to. And then you go, well, it was bad. I probably wouldn't do it again. If maybe, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. But nah, you know, it wasn't that. It was all right. It was okay. As far as like now that I'm through it, it was what it was. I did learn a lot, but man, but you can't never say you wouldn't do something like that again because or the reasons why you are unable to do other things or other, you know, if anything, that's going to be your newfound confidence to be able to go do other things because you've been through the worst thing you've been through. And so now you're like, well, all this other stuff doesn't seem so bad. Doesn't feel as like crazy. You know, it's more of a little kiddie whirlpool other than a full-on hurricane, you know, Hurricane 5 in this, you know. So it's like kind of like that. But yeah, they'd be like, I'm confident, you know. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I don't know how much I can really advocate for faking it until you making it in the sense of how people say that you have to fake being things and doing stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? I think as long as you're still true to yourself, faking it until you making it makes sense. Because maybe you just gotta bite. Maybe you gotta shut the fuck up. Maybe you gotta bite your tongue. Maybe you gotta to make it. Maybe you gotta play the game a little bit and go with the rules a little bit to do it. I mean, you're already in it. You can't stop that you're here now. If not, guess what? You're gonna come back with even more to deal with. So you can't stop what you hit. You know what I'm saying? And if you fall off, in the sense of like you're not continuing to get the mind together, you know, try to, you know, look at doing what you need to do and doing it, be prepared to have to come back here again and still deal with it. But like I said, I think it's still the push forward, like I've heard, shout out to Dolo, to kind of get all of this done. You have to kind of continue to push yourself forward to see what things will come in those trials and tribulations and all those things. Like if you don't see it for what it is and go through them, you won't actually ever have the confidence. Even if you say you're faking it till you make it, even if you say you have the confidence, it's not gonna build the way you want it to build. You know, because I've noticed it. Because you gotta sometimes switch up because it don't feel right. It's like, man, I don't know if that's really what I was intending to go for. So I know because I've been through the trials with this or other things. With my own way of speaking, whoa, did I do a bunch of stuff? I put gatekeepers of your mind. Yeah, but it's gatekeepers of your mind, I feel. And what's the point of them? Yeah. I don't even know what to call this. I don't even know what this is, but yeah, I think I said it all. Word.